Now, as we come into the final straight, I think we're just about going to hold on to this. We're burning some battery, we're pulling away from him a little bit, and we take the win. So, a great way to start the season. We take the first win of the season, and yeah, that's 25 points for us. I think Pourchaire actually ended up getting fastest lap, but it's not going to matter because he finished outside of the points. And Lance Stroll gets driver of the day, so I wonder if he scored points. I closed the door on him there. You can see that the gap has closed down to just 0.05 of a second at points there, and it is so close between me and him. Is he going to get a better exit from this corner? It doesn't seem like he has. The gap has increased to 0.3 of a second. It's coming down to below 0.2 now. Is it going to be enough? No, it's not. We win the Grand Prix, and Pourchaire has to wait just a little bit longer for his first Grand Prix win to hopefully make the move work on him. But there is a yellow flag, and I wonder who that's for. And actually, you can see now that he's slowing down quite a lot. It is my teammate Théo Pourchaire with smoke pouring out the back of his car. That is the end of his Mercedes power unit and the end of his Grand Prix. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this, and I just hope that we can keep this run of form going. You know, Imola's next, so that's going to be a tricky one for me. But yeah, we are around the final corner now, and we come up to the line, and we are going to take our third victory of the season. But I think it's been a little bit too long, and indeed you can see that it's some kind of engine failure by the looks of things. I don't know what component it is exactly so far, but we're going to have to pull off to the side of the road, and that is not the way I wanted this sprint race to end by any stretch of the imagination. It's surefire that it's going to be the case. We just about get onto 75% as we round the final corner, but as we come up to the line, we take a podium finish in a race where we started last. That is an absolutely ridiculous... This might be my finest race of all time, but I can tell you with certainty he won't last more than this season at this rate. We cross the line, take the win, and yeah, it was fairly comfortable in the end. That second stint, we just were miles ahead of everyone else. And this is turning into a pretty dominant season of Formula 1, to be honest. A really strong performance from us here. We were able to make up quite a lot of positions. We capitalised on the battles between the cars ahead of us to overtake them. And we're going to cross the line to take P2 in this Spanish Grand Prix. Sainz is going to come home in P4, and we're going to round the final corner and cross the line to take a solid but not amazing P5 finish here in Monaco. Yeah, kind of we didn't really lose anything as a result of this DNF, apart from saving the rest of my engine components in an uncompetitive race. You know, I don't want to do that Lewis Hamilton excuse that's like, oh, you know, if I'm not running in the top 3, we might as well save the engine, man. Like, but yeah, that's kind of how I looked at it. And then something very weird happened. Instead of retiring off track, we decided to go over the curb and drive straight into the barrier in front. I'll admit here, I used a few flashbacks just to see if there was any way that I could not plow into the wall when my car was... Yeah, he's right, it was completely out of my control. I'm not controlling the car here. The car's just retiring from the Grand Prix automatically, and yeah, there's no way that I could have avoided the car just crashing into the wall. I tried it 4 times. I won't show you the final one, but yeah, there was no way to avoid that. So hopefully they don't throw that one back in my face later on as a me mistake, because that was not in my control whatsoever. Yeah, like I said, it was never really a question for him. And after lap 18, it was never really a question that we were going to be P2 either. So yeah, a strong result here, and definitely we made amends for the disappointment of last season as we crossed the line to take P2. And now we're going to try and make our signature move happen and make it stick this time. We go up the inside. We still have the grip on these medium tyres. He went to close the door, but we managed to sneak in just before he closed it. And we're going to try and go up the inside at this signature position, and we make the move happen. And that is 7 overtakes in the same position on the racetrack in one race. We've had an amazing amount of tyre grip around that corner, to be fair. I'm low-key kind of surprised that we're able to do that. But the fight is not over yet. You can see that Charles Leclerc is steaming around my outside here as we come through the final few corners. And we have to squeeze him out wide a little bit to try and hold on to it. But he is going to come up my inside here. We're going to have to give him a bit of room there. But we switch to the inside for the next corner, and we hold him off. And we're going to be burning battery to the line. He's very close, but I don't think he's going to make it happen. And we hold on to this P2. And that was a bit of a lucky break at the end there. I thought we were going to get pipped to the finish once again, but we didn't quite have that happen. Lando Norris wins his home Grand Prix, and we come home P2 to make it a British 1-2 at the British Grand Prix. Yeah, really strong performance, and hopefully we can have an even stronger performance in the race itself, and move up even further in the standings. We pitted off those soft tyres early, and that proved to be the right strategy because it allowed us to undercut Norris in front, especially with the safety car coming out. That really perfected the situation for us, and yeah, it means that we're going to round the final few corners, and for the third year in a row we are going to utilise strong strategy, safety cars and the like to win the Austrian Grand Prix. We're now renegotiating with Théo Pourchaire, and disaster has struck. He is not willing to re-sign with us for the medium risk offer. I'm just seeing if we can outbid them. We've won. Okay, so 9.55 million is what we paid, plus the 4.5 million buyout. So yeah, 14 million he ended up costing us. That's a big chunk of our budget. So I'm going to be keen to try and keep him so we don't have to keep spending loads and loads of money. Yeah, okay, so it has been a DNF, but like I said, it's a gearbox failure, I think, by the looks of things. But yeah, it could be a lot worse. I've yet to have it in this season where I've been running sort of in the podium positions, where I have spent a lot of time this season, especially in the first sort of 9 races. After Canada, my form's kind of trailed off a little bit. I know I won a race just now, but especially with like qualifying and stuff like that, I've not been on the best run of form, and that's where a lot of my DNFs have been within. So I'm not too disappointed. I would be much more disappointed if I was a lot further up the grid, or I'd invested a lot more time into this race, as Piastri is going to cross the line to become a Grand Prix winner in only a second race back at the team, and we are going to come home to take P6 in this Hungarian Grand Prix. As we come onto lap 14, you can see that unfortunately we have had a mechanical failure. It is a control electronics failure, actually, which of all the failures we could have had, it's a lot less critical than gearbox. We won't have to take a penalty for it later in the season. 14 races deep, and we've finally blown our first CE. So yeah, we'll be able to replace that hopefully to the end of the season with no real issues. If we have to take some penalties, that would not be ideal, but we will have to take a gearbox penalty at some point due to the failure we had in France. So yeah, I do need to start scoring points sooner rather than later, and that is 18 points that has been denied of me, and we're going to be relegated down into P5. So yeah, not the start we were quite looking for, but perhaps we can get Ricciardo back into the braking zone up here. I'm not sure, it depends how late he brakes. We do think about going up the inside. We force him a little bit wide, he has to go over the curb. Oh, and we get crunched straight into the back of Ricciardo, unfortunately. Break our front wing off, and yeah, that's going to be an early pit stop for us, unfortunately, to change that front wing. Now I think we're going to try and burn battery to the line to hopefully consolidate this final position. We're actually, yeah, we are burning the battery now. Weave a little bit, and yeah, we come home P17. Not the best result in the world, but I'm just happy that we managed to finish a Grand Prix. Makes a refreshing change from Belgium, at least, where we suffered a big DNF. Hopefully that won't be critical, but yeah, once again, no points. And he closes the gap now to just 10 points, and we cross the line to take P5 and another 10 points in this championship. But the one thing we have this time that we didn't have last time is an absolute weapon driving for our team to give us some support. Yes, he didn't win today, but he still managed to come home and take fastest lap off of Lando Norris on the final lap as well. So Lando Norris will only be extending his gap by 7 points over me at most, and that is pretty good. As you can see that Sergio Perez has now stolen it as well. But Piastri came home to get a blinding P2. Even if he didn't get the win, I'm still very happy with that, as we cross the line to take P4. And yeah, what a brilliant recovery drive from P17. But the question does have to be asked, how on earth did we end up starting in P17 to begin with? Yeah, I think this is going to be Alonso's second win since 2013. He obviously had that surprising win in Belgium as well, where he picked up 25 points. That was in 2024. And here in 2026, it looks like he's going to be winning the US Grand Prix in very shock circumstances. But yeah, the consistency of this man to still be delivering solid performances race after race after race is something to be beheld. I don't know what the past tense is, as Perez and Piastri cross the line and I follow them up to take P5 in this Grand Prix. And yeah, the result not quite what we wanted. I was hoping we would at least be able to get a podium. Norris gets driver of the day. He came home in P10. So we do retake the lead of the Drivers' Championship, but not by very much. This is one of the most embarrassing races I've ever had to do in Formula 1. But when you're fighting for a championship, you have to take everything you can possibly get. And that's what I did, you know. I had to drive like I was trying to win a world championship. And that's what I did, you know. I went for every dodgy move I possibly could, and we crossed the line, and we take P3. That was honestly one of the worst races I've ever had to do in this game, and I will never ever make that mistake on fuel again. It's top 6 of myself, Norris, Russell, Verstappen, Piastri, and I think that's Leclerc in P6. Who, with this result, is now out of championship contention. We're going to cross the line, and it's another race win this season. It's been a long time coming. We've had a number of struggles over the course of the most recent races. I was hoping that finally we'd be able to end this sort of poor run of form we've been on, failing to win any races, and we've finally done just that. That was basically all that happened all race. No retirements, no controversy, no yellow flags, not really anything, you know. Just a bit of a train. I let Piastri hold on to this, you know, I didn't challenge him too much. Towards the beginning of the race, I probably could have challenged him a bit harder, but I wasn't really fussed about it. And yeah, he comes home to take the win, and I come home to take P2 in the sprint. Yep, that is it for our Grand Prix, and yeah, we're gonna have to retire, and that is you know, 10 laps away from winning the championship. We're gonna have to wait one more race to do it now, and if we have a really poor race in Abu Dhabi, then things could still turn around in Norris's favour. But for the time being, we will yeah, we'll just see what we can do in Abu Dhabi. At the end of the day, nobody could challenge me in this race apart from Max Verstappen, who has crossed the line now to win the whole thing. But Norris could not make up the position. He bottled it in qualifying, and that is going to mean that we are double world champions, constructors champion, drivers champion, and what a fantastic season it has been. We really tried to lose it during the middle of the season. There's no doubt in my mind that we really tried to throw it away with some of those performances in the middle of the season. But in the end, they could not get close to me. That winning run I went on in the first 5 races, winning 4 of the first 5 races, that was all I needed to claim this championship. And yeah, double world champion. What is up, everyone, and welcome to me recording live. I hope you enjoyed that little recap of our season that just went by. I'm still massively elated that we managed to win both world championships. And yeah, there's just a few extra things to wrap up now, and then we can move into Season 6. The first video will be out tomorrow, and yeah, we will be back at the Bahrain Grand Prix for another season. But yeah, there's a few things we've got to take care of, a few activities, a few events, and of course that all-important contract renewal. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a formality, but I've been proven wrong many times before. So at this point, I don't think any contract negotiations are a foregone conclusion. You know, I thought at this point we would be thinking about maybe re-signing Pourchaire for another season, but instead we have Piastri on our team because Pourchaire didn't want to re-sign for us. So yeah, it really remains to be seen what is going to happen. We're going to do some activities to try and boost our acclaim and stuff like that. Perez has retired, so once again, I won't be revealing in this video, but next video you will find out who the new driver at Red Bull Racing is and what effect that has on the World Championship. Oscar Piastri has accepted our approach, and let's see, what kind of offer are we going to make him? I think he's done pretty well, to be honest, so I'm going to make the low-risk offer, and we will see what we can do. He's declined it? The low-risk offer? He didn't want that? Well, I guess we're negotiating with other people. Starting out with Norris, didn't work out. They outbid us for him. We didn't have enough money. Next person we approached was Sonoda. And yeah, I messed up this auction. I accidentally accelerated time a bit too fast, so I didn't even put in the bids. And we'll never know. Maybe Sonoda could have joined the team, but it didn't happen. And then the fourth person I approached was Alex Albon. And I'm hoping we might have quite a bit of luck in this one. Whilst he has quite a high market value, I'm feeling that, you know, he will want to escape Williams. And indeed, that is exactly what happened. So, for the first time in My Team Career Mode, after 5 seasons, we have an established member of the grid on our team. It is not someone who is a rookie when they joined the team. Alex Albon has years of experience in Formula 1 by this point. I believe 7 years of experience. So I'm feeling that he is going to be a very strong performer on my team. Going to give him another shot at the big leagues, much like Red Bull did many years ago. And yeah, we will see if he can deliver for us. It's disappointing that we couldn't re-sign Piastri, but you know, at the same time, I think that he will land on his feet. Maybe he'll be able to fill the seat at Williams that Albon has vacated, or maybe they'll even take him up at Red Bull. Could you imagine the scenes if that happens? But nonetheless, that is that for that season. And now we move forward into season 6 with the legend who has had many podium finishes in that Williams over the course of the 5 seasons we've done so far. I'm immensely impressed with his performances, and yeah, I can't wait to see how he performs for Jaguar Racing as we move into season 6. There are a couple of things we've got to take care of before we move forward, including I like to customarily do a new livery, and we'll look at what the calendar is going to look like for next season. Obviously, this year we were missing Australia and the Netherlands, and next season those ones will be back on the calendar in favour of 2 races which have been on for all 5 seasons so far. I'm looking to not replace any races more than once, hopefully, which we should be able to do without too much hassle. So yeah, we'll speed through this quickly, put Australia and Netherlands back on the calendar, and the 2 that we're losing out are going to be Austria and Azerbaijan. So yeah, two races, one of which goes very well for me usually, and one of which goes horrendously for me. I figure, you know, you've got to have a bit of balance in there, so that's what I went for in the end. And yeah, now perhaps the most controversial thing that we're going to do is we're actually going to assign a new engine partner. Ferrari look like they might be slightly better, and therefore I'm going to take a Ferrari engine. But that's not the most radical change we've made, because the car is now cherry red. We've moved away from the racing green, and yeah, that is going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed, make sure you like and subscribe, and hopefully I will see you in Season 6.